September is yet another month packed with great video games, vying for your time and money. I'm here to run you through the best of the month, from the AAA to the free-to-play, and a few hidden gems along the way. This video is sponsored by Twin Sales, as their tactical RPG Gloomhaven comes to console this month. We'll be looking at that a little later in the video, so let's crack on. We have to start with the biggest game of the year, Baldur's Gate 3 on PS5. What did you think I was gonna say? Baldur's Gate's console release comes a month after the PC version, which received some of the highest collective review scores ever. The thing to note right away is this is a Dungeons and Dragons game. An RPG with flowing decision making impacted by dice throws like the board game. And we have ability stats to take into account too. Combat is effectively turn-based, which then feeds into understanding how your team attacks, the distance they prefer, and of course their abilities. All that said, the immersive storytelling is the glue that keeps players playing. We have a list of decisions to make regularly, and then a dice roll impacts that choice. For example, should you choose to punt this squirrel, achieve a high enough number, and you will absolutely yeet it. Yet fail and you may miss the kick and miss that opportunity completely. Then whatever the outcome, the game just keeps going. Decide what kind of character you are and invest 100 hours plus into their journey. Baldur's Gate 3 is an accidental PS5 exclusive, releasing on September 6th, but Xbox fans, don't worry, you will get this soon, but there is no date just yet. Next, Mortal Kombat 1. I'll be honest, I had to edit this video quite a bit to miss out most of the bloody scenes, as I'm trying to stay friends with YouTube this month. But I think we all know the appeal of Mortal Kombat. The iconic fighter is receiving a reboot of sorts, as a new timeline is opened, changing the backstories of beloved characters. Like Liu Kang, he's the god of fire right now. The evolution of combat continues, with the standard one-on-one fighting impacted by cameo fighters. They can be tagged in for a split second to turn the tide of battle before leaving again. This brings in a new tactical element to an already packed system, including X-ray moves, brutal combos, and of course the voice we long to hear. Finish him. Finishing moves that make me worry about the sanity of the Mortal Kombat staff. Mortal Kombat 1 MK1 is set to be released for PlayStation, Xbox, PC and Nintendo Switch on September 19th. Here's something that shocked me. It's been 10 years since PayDay 2 released, and now a decade later, PayDay 3 finally arrives. The premise is pretty simple: pull off the perfect heist. We are certified criminals. After checking out the venue, whether that's a bank or an art gallery, we plan our attack, taking out cameras, unlocking doors, and managing the local security, all in the hopes of grabbing something valuable and escaping. It doesn't have to be a firefight though. It's possible to do an entire job with stealth, pickpocketing guards for keycards, uncovering intel, and staying out of sight at all times. That said, 99% of heists will likely end up with an epic and explosive exit plan. And staying in a mission too long gives the Spec Ops team hunting you down a chance to arrive at your location. PayDay 3 can be played alone, but the real appeal is heisting with your friends. Look out for it on September 21st on the PS5, the Xbox Series, and PC. And note this, it's retailing at $40.40, which is 35 quid in the UK. Take a look at Gloomhaven. The well-received tactical RPG on PC is making the switch to console on September 18th. The original board game, created by Isaac Chaldrez, is faithfully recreated. In a ruthless world, we must venture through it with our band of mercenaries. Gloomhaven uses a card system to dictate movement and attacks in turn-based scenarios. When building our team, we have a selection of one-of-a-kind mercs to choose from, each with their own abilities, with over 1,000 in fact. The gold edition of the game includes all the DLC added over the last 2 years, bolstering more scenarios and mercenaries to the already packed lineup. Gloomhaven can be played alone or with up to 4 players online, regardless of what platform you play on. If this sounds like your kind of game, Gloomhaven hits PS4 and 5, the Xboxes and Switch on September 18th. And as Twin Sales have kindly sponsored this video, there's also a link in the description. Okie dokie, let's look at some free games this month. 2 with no strings attached, and a couple linked to PS Plus and Game Pass. Firstly, as I'm saying this, it appears that one of September's PS Plus Essential games has been leaked. Saints Row, the 2022 reboot, is essentially a kinda janky GTA 5 clone. That said, playing this in co-op is honestly some of the dumbest fun I've had in a long time. I'll talk more about this in depth when Sony confirm it, but I thought you'd like a heads up. Speaking of PS Plus, remember that Sea of Stars releases on August 29th, a retro-inspired RPG that honestly deserves some attention. We play as a couple of heroes who can harness the power of the sun and moon. I'm bringing this up because it didn't release at the same time as the other PS Plus extra games, and I don't want you to miss it. And here's a few games that are totally free to play and don't require a subscription service. First up is Disney's Speedstorm, a free-to-play kart racer that is trying to be the Mario Kart of Disney properties. The multitude of racers have access to their own unique abilities, and unlike other racers, those skills can be used in more than one way. The activation button can be tapped or charged. For example, Buzz Lightyear, he can strap a rocket to his car for a speed boost by pressing the button, whereas holding it will send that rocket backwards into other drivers. The tracks themselves are themed like the much-loved movies and shows you watched most of your life. A thing to note in Speedstorm is a gacha element like those seen in Genshin Impact, a way into your wallet using a multitude of currencies. Oh, and one last thing, Speedstorm has 4-player split screen on current gen platforms and 2-player split screen on last gen, so that's PS4, Xbox One and the Switch. Speedstorm releases free to play on pretty much every platform you can think of, including the Samsung Smart Fridge. Look out for it on September 28th. Okay, the other free game. Remember when I showed you Cuties Hacked? A titillating Sonic-style game that slowly uncovered photos of, well, see for yourself. You know where I'm going with this now, right? There's another version of this game, Celebrities Hacked. Almost identical in every way, we cut down the playing field to uncover a picture, while simultaneously avoiding being hit by any of the enemies on screen. It's simple, right? And okay, Kitty Lock does look a lot like Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII. Celebrities Hacked is out right now on PS4 and PS5 and has a bunch of very easy objectives for you trophy hunters out there. Okay, let's transition back into priced games and a DLC that promises to fix the many issues Cyberpunk 2077 had on release. Phantom Liberty adds a concurrent storyline to the main one, starring Idris Elba no less. We fill the boots of our version of V as he or she takes on a high-stakes mission of espionage and intrigue to save the president of the NUSA. This update will also drop on the standard game with many improvements such as new weapons, a complete redesign of the cyberware system, a respect perk system, new skill trees, vehicles, and finally vehicular combat. And the biggest issue from the original game was the police AI, and that is said to be perfect now. Let's be completely honest, Cyberpunk 2077 had the potential to be a great game, but it didn't release looking that way. This update and the DLC expansion should deliver the RPG first-person shooter CD Projekt Red promised us. Night City is calling, will you go back? Phantom Liberty arrives on September 26th on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series and PC. Racing game fans, you've been a little neglected recently. Well then have a look at the Crew Motorfest, a sequel to 2018's Crew 2. The game is set in a large open world, but this time it's a Hawaiian island. We arrive at the island as it celebrates the Festival of Speed, leading to multiple races and themed playlists. It's essentially Forza, but not locked to Xbox platforms. Let's see how that goes. Playlists are essentially mini campaigns which tell a short story, and really they're here to teach us about the vehicles we are sitting in. Handling is a blend of arcade and simulation, although the latter can be made more available in the motorsports playlists where tyre degradation and fuel consumptions need to be monitored and adjusted. The Crew Motorfest hits on September 14th on the PlayStations, the Xboxes and the PC too. And now something for those lovers of challenging games. This is Lies of P, and the first thing to note is an available demo to play to fully understand what this game is, which in my opinion it most definitely is a Soulsborne inspired single player game. Story-wise, this bit's quite genius. We play as Pinocchio, the puppet created by Geppetto. We wake up to find the city is plagued, and what was once a lively dwelling is now poisoned by madness and bloodlust. With dozens of weapons to unlock and evolve, the real focus is creating your perfect melee apparel, using parts from other weapons you've collected, and then using it to force your way through anyone who challenges you. Understanding the attack pattern of foes and choosing the right moment to strike is a key component, and Lies of P is definitely one for those who enjoy a challenge and don't get too frustrated by multiple failures. Look out for Lies of P on September 19th on PS4 and 5, the Xboxes, and of course PC. If you've made it this far into the video, then I owe you dad jokes. How about 3 this time around? What do you call a pig with no legs? That's easy. It's a groundhog. No? Yeah? No? Okay. If that's too immature for you, I'll go even worse. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because... Okay, I've got one more. What do you call a magician with no magic? Ian. Get it? Ian. Magician. I'll go. I'm Adam, you're awesome. I'll see you next time.